Stamford Bridge as the top two in the Premier League go head-to-head. Arsenal and Chelsea in Super Sunday's game. Massive, massive one this. Right, Jay, Paul Merson said that if Arsenal win, they will run away with the title, not just win it. Do you agree?
I don't know about run away with the title, and I'm not interested in running away. I don't care about running away. You can win the league by 1 point. Winning is winning. Now, I was thinking about this yesterday, and I feel like the way Arsenal are playing, they're really solid. It's difficult to break them down. They're very good at set pieces. Everyone's talking about set pieces. Like, you know, if you can use that in your Arsenal and win games by using it, why is everyone complaining about it? Why am I hearing now like it's a negative to use something that has been in the game for years and years and years? Is it because it's Arsenal? But ultimately, I think Arsenal are in the best position they've ever been in. One, because they are playing so well. Two, because I see leaders in that camp. And three, because obviously Liverpool have dropped off. Man City looks like, you know, I think Arsenal at home probably won't lose a game between now and the end of the season, where I can see Man City losing. I can see Liverpool losing. Chelsea could lose home games. And I think even away, when was the last time you've seen Arsenal concede more than 2 goals? I can't remember. So from that point of view, I would say, yes, we are going to win the league. But I was on a golf course yesterday and I started thinking about...
Shock.
Can we win the double now? Can we win the double?
Which double?
People even started
Champions
messaging
League
me saying, can we win all 4? I'm not interested in the 4. I'm not interested in domestic no more. We've won the domestic, you know, in my lifetime. That's fine. I need to see the Premier League and I'd love to see the Champions League. And I think it's possible now.
You're still in the League Cup?
We're not interested in domestic.
Are you still on it? No, when you said all 4?
We're not interested in domestics.
No, I just couldn't work out whether you were still in the League Cup.
We're interested in the big 2. I don't even pay attention to that because the domestics now. There's no disrespect to the League Cup and the FA Cup. I don't want to be disrespectful, but ultimately teams like Arsenal now need to be focusing on the top 2 trophies, which is the Premier League and the Champions League. The League Cup and the FA Cup is for players that need minutes, for young players that want to come in and get experience. And the players are good enough to win games. I'm not saying they're not. They'll go and win games and they'll get far in the competition. But I just think now, as a club, Arsenal need to focus on the majors.
You are still in the League Cup, by the way, at home to Crystal Palace. I just had that as already won by Newcastle. I didn't realise that you and Man City were still in it, just off the top of my head, right? Okay, so you actually could win the quadruple, actually, right? As for Chelsea, we reported earlier this week that they've got no expectations of winning the Premier League, although they think the Champions League is more attainable. Are you surprised that Chelsea, with the quality they've got and, yes, the money that they've spent, that they don't have any expectations to win the league?
Yeah, I'm surprised that they would come out and say that. Even if you think that, don't say it. You don't need to say it. You know, where are Chelsea sitting right now? Is it, you know, second in the league?
Second, yeah. If they beat you, there's 3 points behind.
That's a big if. But if... I don't think you can say that because the players will be looking at it and saying, hold on a minute, we're second in the league, we've got a fantastic squad, we've got young players, our best player on form is injured at the moment and he's been injured for a while. I just don't think it's something that they should have said because ultimately Chelsea are title contenders. If you're second now and you're playing well, and they've got a big squad, Maresca's rotating his squad as well, he's giving players minutes. I think it's crazy for the hierarchy or whoever said that to say that they're not challenging for the Premier League.
It's a massive game on Super Sunday. Chelsea v Arsenal, second v first. In pubs, workplaces, living rooms, WhatsApp groups around the world, football fans will be arguing about who would make their combined 11 from both sides. So we're going to do the same with Jay Bothroyd, John from Blue Lions TV and Christian Ty as well. Good morning to you all. Right, the rules are simple. If everyone is fit for both clubs, what would be the best starting lineup? And we've gone for a 4-2-3-1 formation, or 4-3-3, however you want to see it. Right, first of all, we'll start with the home team. So, John, goalkeeper, who would be in goal, Sanchez or Raya?
It's a hard one. You know, I need to give a lot of credit to Robert Sanchez for really stepping up in 2025. I know everyone's laughing, but
Jay is laughing.
no one's
Jay
giving
is
him enough
laughing at
credit
you.
for the improvements. I know I'm getting ganged up on today. I was ready for this.
It's all right, I'm neutral. I'm neutral. I'll help you out, John. I'll help you out.
Okay.
Might not be able to help you on this particular position because Raya is so good, I must add.
But I need you to be
But I will help
objective.
you out through
You're
it.
not being objective
And I
right now.
was
Just be
gonna
honest.
get to
It's
that.
Raya. There's no questions asked.
No, for sure. I was going to begrudgingly get to that. Obviously, Ryan would be my number one. But I need to also give a shout out to Robert Sanchez for really stepping up like crazy this year, to the point where the fan base just has confidence with him between the sticks right now. And I think that tells you everything you need to know about the guy. So maybe next season it might be a bit closer, but at the moment, Ryan, then go for me.
Right, OK, so you have gone for Raya. Christian, I'm not going to ask you because I know the answer to that one anyway. We'll go to fullbacks then. We'll start with you on fullbacks. And the right back, I think, is a more difficult one. All right, are you having your man Timber or are you having Reece James?
This is tough. I can't lie. Even as an Arsenal fan, I love Timber. For me, Timber is my favourite Arsenal player. I think he's our most consistent player. I think he's the definition of world class. But then Reece James is also the definition of world class. And there's an argument that Reece James has been doing it in the Premier League for longer. So look, as an Arsenal fan, I can understand my argument. I can understand a Chelsea fan's argument for Reece James. For this season, I would go for Jurriën Timber. I just think what he's been doing consistently at right back, week in, week out. You know, Reece James has played in the middle a lot. He's played in midfield a lot for Chelsea this season. He hasn't just been at right back. I feel like consistently this season, it is Jurriën Timber. Also, just thinking a little bit ahead, the left-back spot, I think a lot of Chelsea fans will argue for them as well. Arsenal have the best defence in the league. There's no way 2 out of 4 Chelsea defenders can get in this team. So either the right-back has to give or the left-back has to give.
Which one are you giving? Which one are you giving? So you're putting Timber right and Cucurella left?
I probably would go for that. I rate Cucurella. I think there's a strong argument for Calafiori at left-back as well, but Cucurella is a very good player. So I would go Timber and I'd go Cucurella left-back.
Do you accept that, John, or do you want to argue it?
I can't accept that. I mean, it has to be Cucurella and Reece James. I mean, they're the best fullbacks in the league, without a doubt. And the fact that they can easily invert
Arsenal have the best
well.
defence in the league and one of the best defences in Europe.
Like
50% of this defence can't beat
defense is
Chelsea.
like
It
a
just doesn't
whole
make
team
sense.
and a whole unit. But we have to look at the individual basis. And obviously, Reece James has been the premium right back in this country for the last few years right now. Cucurella just wrapped up your mouth.
Jay,
Hold on.
Jay?
Reece James ain't even played regularly for the last few years. So how can you put him there? He's been injured for pretty much 2 years.
Now we can't be doing this today, bro. I'm sorry.
He's been injured for pretty much 2 years
right now, and it's the quality he's always.
But you
shown.
just said just now, for the last few years, he's been the best right back in the league. He's not even played. How can he be the best?
The best in terms of pure quality and output, all-round completeness.
You can't be the best if you don't play. The best ability is availability.
How many wingers have ever got past Reece James in this league? I can even remember straight off the dome.
You've got to play, though.
And he's played enough for me to confidently put him in this team. It has to be Cucurella, Reece James.
Okay, so at the moment,
right out the top.
A question mark at right back there, but it sounds like you're all happy enough with Cucurella at left back. We've already got Raya in goal. Can we gloss over centre backs? Is it Saliba and Gabriel? Is that, you can just nod your head, John? Is that fair enough? And Jay, I think you'll agree with
100%.
that. With the 6 and the 8 position, do we go Caicedo and Rice and go straight to number 10, or has anybody got anything to add to that?
No, yeah, I think that's simple enough.
Right, okay,
Rice and Caicedo.
Right, we're motoring now because number 10 is a little bit is a little bit harder.
I don't think it is.
So this is if everyone's fit, right?
Okay.
This is
if everyone's
everyone's
at the
fit.
top of their game.
Yeah, so
everyone's
you can
fit.
have Odegaard, you can have Cole Palmer. Jay, I'll ask you that one first then.
Okay, it's Cole Palmer.
Yeah, go on.
Without doubt, it's Cole Palmer. And that's taken into consideration that, Odegaard's at the top of his game as well. I just don't think there are many better number 10s in the Premier League at the moment than Cole Palmer when he's fully fit.
Yeah, I probably have to agree. I think Odegaard, at the top of his game, Martin Odegaard is a top quality player. But we haven't seen that in such a long time. And yeah, Cole Palmer, come on. Top player, world-class player. It's hard to argue, but I love Martin Odegaard.
As well, let's give Cole Palmer credit as well. His ceiling is a lot higher than Odegaard's ceiling. I think generally, if we was to go ahead in the future now, I reckon Cole Palmer at the very least will still get 10 goals in the league every season.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of years ago, Odegaard scored 15 in the league. And obviously he's had injuries
that's
since
one
then.
season.
Look, I'm happy. Yeah, but I'm happy to put Cole Palmer in this team. But come on, let's not talk like Odegaard isn't on his day a world-class player.
Well, and
Because
He's not a world-class player.
Eze's playing there at the minute.
On his
as
day,
well,
he
and-
is.
He's not.
You don't think he is?
No, I mean, what's your definition of world-class? If your definition of world-class is the same as mine, which is 2 players in every position, he is not world-class.
I think Odegaard.
I think we throw
I think on
world-class
his day
around
he's
too
top
easy.
3
I
in
have
his
to be
position
honest.
in the world.
He's a top player, but world-class.
I think
there's
he is.
only 2. Okay,
He's
so
a world-class
in his position,
playmaker.
I think
yeah.
in his
I'll
position,
give him that.
I think Odegaard's world class. Yeah.
what's your definition of world-class?
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, if
Most
you
goals in the
think
Premier
he's
League season.
in
Sorry,
one of the-
most non-penalty goals from a midfielder in a Premier League season.
That's a
What,
good-
once?
22, 23. What do you mean?
Once.
It doesn't matter once, but we're talking about peak of his game. The
Well,
best he's ever been.
So what about Foden then?
World class means one of the best in the world in his position.
What about
I'd say he
Foden?
is.
Foden's better than
Yeah, Foden's probably up
Odegaard.
there as well. I don't know
So,
about better.
how many world-class players you got? How many world-class players is
Well,
there
there's
in the
not
world?
a limit.
Of course there is.
Exactly.
This is what I'm saying. This gets thrown around way too... Anyway, we're going off subject here.
Okay.
Carry on.
Fair enough. They've put Palmer in the 10. All right. So at the moment, the only contention so far is the right back. It would appear. However, when it comes to wingers and striker, that might be different. So if you go right wing. For Arsenal, you've got Saka for right wing. Who would normally play right wing for you, John, for Chelsea?
We kind of rotate quite a lot. So we've seen Neto, we've seen Esteval, we've seen a few of them. But if I was to answer who I would want to see in this combined 11, it could only be Saka and Esteval for me. I don't care if Esteval's on the left. I think the combined 11 needs to have both of them. I think Esteval is that good. I've been thoroughly impressed by this kid's talent.
So that means there's no Eze, though. If
Saka's
right and
This
Esteval
guy,
is left.
sorry,
we're
Tom.
losing.
Yeah.
This guy's. I think this guy's trying to wind me up. He don't even start for Chelsea week in, week out. How can you put him in the combined best 11?
We're going for pure talent, are we?
No, we're not going for. No, you're going for
talent,
pure
bro.
potential. Potentially, yes.
No.
He doesn't play week in, week out for Chelsea. How can you put him in this team?
I get that's the frame of argument for you, but for me, I'm just going for pure talent. And Esteval, listen, he's simmering behind the scenes for a reason. We want to just get him to kind of acclimatise with his physicality to the league. But let's not mistake, whenever this kid is on the field, he leaves a mark. He's the best player.
And John watches him more than us. John watches him more than us. But Christian...
And statistically, him and Saka are quite similar in terms of goal output and assists already so far this season. And obviously, Esteval started less games, as you're saying, in the league. But again, I'm just going to go for pure talent. I sound a bit crazy, but I just need to stand by what I'm saying.
You do. Not a bit. Not a bit.
Combined 11 would not feel right if I don't have Esteval and Saka together.
Okay, I think, Jay, did you go Eze left ahead of, like...
Yeah, I went Eze. I want Eze on the left.
What did you say, Christian?
Saka on the right, obviously. I think Esteval's a good player, scored a great goal against Barcelona. But like Jay said, he hasn't been starting week in, week out for Chelsea. He's just coming into the team, just beginning to show that consistency. I think he will be a great player, but I don't think you can put him in this combined 11 just yet. I'd actually go Trossard. If we're talking this season, I'd go Trossard on the left. There's an argument that he's been Arsenal's...
No, but we're not talking about just this season. We're talking about at their very best, because obviously Palmer's injured, right? So we're talking about at their very best, all available. You can select anyone.
It's even hard to put Eze on the left, though, because he's not really a left winger. He hasn't really played there at his best for Palace. At their best on the left, I'd probably go still Trossard.
Okay.
So especially bringing this season into account as well.
That one's a debate. That one's a debate. I'll give you that. That's a debate for sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
At their best, you could argue Martinelli as well.
But I hear that. But I mean, listen, Esteval for his national team, 3 man of the match awards. He's that good. He's forced Ancelotti to change the system up to incorporate him. And he's been the star guy ahead of Rodrigo Vinicius. I know he's just come here.
It was the last 3 games again. It was the last 3 games again.
No, I get it. In terms of the storyline, it's very fresh.
And you're going on like this is not Brazil, by the way.
No, for sure. But like in terms of the storyline, it's new. But in terms of just pure talent,
bro, you're talking about potential. You're talking about storylines. You're talking about all kinds of stuff now.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the results we're seeing on the field right now. It was typified of that game against Barcelona.
Bro, you're writing these stories like Roald Dahl.
John's marvellous medicine. Right, OK, we'll go on to striker, because left wing, you've got 3 different answers for the left wing there. So, striker, Christian?
I'll go Victor Gyökeres. I think the form he was coming into especially in that Burnley game when he got injured. But I think if you're talking at their best, last season he was the most prolific goal scorer in Europe. So it wasn't in the Premier League, and that can be an argument. But at his best, the guy won the Gerd Müller Trophy at the Ballon d'Or. He's a top quality goal scorer.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you because obviously I think I'm the one that's being very objective today.
Okay.
It's not Gyökeres. Gyökeres, as much as he scores goals,
it's not João Pedro. Come on.
I think it has to be at his best. It has to be João
Pedro's
Pedro
a very good player, but come on, man, at his best at Brighton, he was a decent player. He wasn't a world class. He wasn't like a top quality player. He barely even got in the team. And Welbeck was fit.
Gyökeres is not world class either.
Gyökeres
is not world class either.
No, I'm not saying he's world class. But who would I choose? Listen, let me just say this. João
Pedro, at his best in the Premier League, he has performed better than Gyökeres. So that's why he has to be in the Premier League team.
Has John got
11.
Has John got João Pedro, by the way? We're kind of assuming. Who have you gone for, John?
Hey, I'm going to be really honest. I think this is really, really hard. I've been struggling to kind of think who I'm really going to pick. Obviously, João Pedro, he's played in many different roles in the Premier League, like as an attacking mid for most times at Brighton. Obviously, coming to Chelsea, he plays that more deep line forward role, and he's been quite good. But then, like, using your argument, Jay, obviously, are we comparing Gyökeres throughout his entire career or like Premier League career?
No, but I think we have to talk about. I think we have to judge him on the Premier League because, listen, the Portuguese league. There's no disrespect. I'm not disrespecting Portuguese players because they are top players, and the national team, great team. But ultimately, the Portuguese national team, voted by Opta based upon stats, are not even in the top 4. So can we say that he deserves to be there ahead of a player that's been in the Premier League, scored, done well for Brighton, got his move to Chelsea? Okay, he hasn't played as well as
we're going to have to wrap.
Liked of, but
we're going to have to wrap. You've put your arguments forward very, very well. You've all agreed on Raya in goal. You've argued over Timber and James at right back, Cucurella as left back, Saliba and Gabriel at the centre backs, Rice and Caicedo in the middle, with Palmer at number 10. Saka is definitely on the right, and you've argued between Trossard, Eze and Estevao for left wing. And I think might have just gone for João Pedro up front. I think
it's a debate. It's a debate.
It's a good one.
It's a debate.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Christian, John, thank you very much. It's always good fun to do that. To get through, but how about this for a start? Are Estevao and Lamine Yamal destined to be the next Messi and Ronaldo? Rafinha predicted his Barcelona teammate and the Chelsea winger would become the best 2 players in the world. And after watching Chelsea beat Barcelona convincingly last night with a goal from Estevao, Enzo Maresca threw a bit of fuel onto the fire. The Chelsea head coach said this in his post-match interview on beIN Sports. As Rafinha said, probably in the next 10 to 15 years, Estevao and Lamine Yamal are probably going to the next Messi and Ronaldo, which is a pretty bold claim. But by the time he faced the media in his news conference, he had toned it down a bit.
Estevao needs relax. He needs to enjoy. He needs to session. He needs to play football. Him, Lamine, they are so young with 18 that if you start to talk about Messi, Ronaldo, I think it's too much pressure for young boy like them. 18, they need to enjoy. They need to arrive at the training ground, happy, session. But when you start to compare them with Messi or with Ronaldo, I think it's too much for them.
Right, good morning to Jody Morris. Interesting that it was like, yeah, they can be the next Messi and Ronaldo. Actually, I shouldn't have said that. No. Don't put that pressure on them. But with Estevao right now, is he good enough to be compared to Lamine Yamal, let alone Messi and Ronaldo?
Yeah, I think so. I think that the fact that we're talking about 2 players of the same age, both lefties that like playing on the right-hand side, I think it's only right that when you're playing at the level, it's different if you're just playing in Brazil, but now that he's in the Premier League, playing for a club like Chelsea, and he's hit the ground running and started so well, not just with important goals, but even in pre-season when the first time he played at Stamford Bridge, I remember how the crowd reacted to him. I think he's become a little bit of a cult hero already, and I think he's got a little bit of everything to his game. That I think he can pick a pass. I love the fact that he wants to run in behind without the ball as well, which is great for if you're looking at goal scoring. But I also love the fact that he just loves getting his shots off, which I think he actually does a little bit more than Lamine Yamal. But you have to say at the moment, what Lamine Yamal's achieved so far in his career, winning European championships and stuff and winning leagues for Barcelona, you'd have to say he's ahead of Esteval, but I certainly think that they'll be neck and neck in not the too distant future.
Yeah, can you think of any other 18-year-olds or even just teenagers who are up there with those two at the moment? I've got a list in front of me here and no one's even touching them.
No, and like I said, I think that the fact that they're being compared is not just the fact to do with their age. I think it's the style of play that they both have. They're both so comfortable on the ball, technically excellent, playing for two big clubs. And like I said, I think they offer something where they can get crowds and coaches on the edge of their seat. I think the reason why you've got Enzo Maresca that's slightly backtracked in his talking up of the two players is probably he's now thinking of ways to protect Esteval because, like I said, I know the Chelsea fans are already over the moon with what they're getting from him, and I imagine now Enzo Maresca's thinking the best way to protect and nurture this talent is maybe not heaping too much pressure on their shoulders.
Who else caught the eye for Chelsea last night for you?
Do you know what? I would hate to pick out too many individuals from what I thought was such a great team performance. I think the manager deserves credit as well because when you're looking at going up against Barcelona with such a high line, the fact that he chose Neto to play in the 9, I think was a big call, but one that proved to be so successful. And I felt even Chelsea defensively from the front three, I thought they were excellent. I think the manager got it spot on with his team selection, and I think every player to a man was outstanding last night.
If the manager had anything to prove to some of... Because there were still doubters. I don't know if there still are. Has he proved any doubters wrong now?
I think you're always going to get doubters because of how we've performed so far in the Premier League. I think that our form and consistency is so up and down, albeit we're sitting in second. I think the manager has even said that himself. But you have to say that, considering that we have had those moments where we've either conceded silly goals or we've got stupid red cards. For us to be sitting in second now and now have an opportunity to play against Arsenal at the weekend to maybe cut the gap at the top, I think the manager's doing an amazing job. And like I said, games and performances last night, which are a little bit of statement performances, can only help the confidence of the team and the players and also the outsiders, when whoever are questioning Maresca. That's two big performances now. That's the best we played since we played PSG in the summer, and that's against two of the best teams in Europe.
And confidence, a big word there. You are confident that you'll beat Arsenal, aren't you, on Sunday?
Yeah, I think that if we play to that level, we can beat anybody. I think that's, as I said, consistency has been our biggest problem, and we are playing against the best team in the Premier League so far this season, and maybe one of the best teams in Europe. But like we showed last year, we gave Arsenal a really good game at the Bridge, and we caused them a lot of problems, and hopefully we're looking to do the same, because when we perform to the level we're capable of, we can beat anyone.
Oh, Sky Sports are partnered with Finalysis, an app where passionate fans share their watching Chelsea all season. How good is Esteval?
I think he's the real deal. The kid is really special. I've got to be honest, I'm surprised at how impressive he's been so soon into his Chelsea career. There's just something about him, the skill, the tricks, his directness, his fearlessness. There's nothing this kid can't do, and there's nothing that seems to faze him. And he's already a fan favourite. He's already someone that gets, the crowd on the edge of their seats. When he comes on, like, the ovation is like, we scored a goal. He's the first player for me, like, genuine superstar. We've got Cole Palmer, but this, like, genuine superstar really since Eden Hazard, where you got someone that can just do anything with the football, and there's a genuine excitement when he gets on the ball. So for me, like, he along with Lamine Yamal, obviously they're the two best teenagers in world football right now. But he's a humble kid. He's got his family around him. He seems to be really in tune with what's required to be a top player. But yeah, I think he's the truth, and the sky's the limit for him. I think there's nothing that this kid can't achieve.
Charlie, do you think that one of the things that I'm really pleased with is how good his work rate is as well, even off the ball and trying to defend from the front. Sometimes you get these talented players that are so gifted technically and such attacking players, but he works really hard for the team as well, don't he?
No, he does, and I think that's something that Maresca's been really big on. Like, simply, like, you know, you won't play if you're not prepared to put in that defensive work as a wide player. Yes, you know, you want your wide players. The primary focus is what can they bring me on the ball? What can they do in the attacking third? How can they win me games? But you see so much now in the modern game how important the defensive side of the game is for attackers, and all of the Chelsea wingers are putting that defensive work in. Esteval, obviously Garnacho does it as well, Pedro Neto's doing it, so fair play to him, because it can be difficult to get these attacking players to buy into that defensive work rate, but he's doing everything from the team, from an attacking sense and from a defensive standpoint as well, so that's fair play to him, and obviously fair play to the manager as well, because that's something that he demands and is really a non-negotiable. Otherwise, as I said, you simply won't be in the team.
But Messi-Ronaldo comparison, what do you think of that?
I mean, look, it's always going to be the situation, isn't it? When you've got two of the best players of their generation right now in terms of Lamine Yamal and Esteval, the natural thing to do is compare them to a Messi and a Ronaldo. I think, you know, I understand why that's there, but for me, I think it's obviously too soon. Let's just let these guys play. Let's enjoy them for what they're doing. Let's allow them to develop and let's see what they can do. But I think what I would say is it's certainly, for me, I would look at them as the next two over the next 10 to 15 years who are going to be battling it out for all the major honours and the big prizes in the game. I mean, people were talking about it being Haaland and Mbappe. Maybe they're sort of a little bit closer next up, but then certainly over the next few years, I think these two are going to be sharing the world stage for a number of years.
And in terms of winning those big trophies, there is a huge game for you on Sunday at home to Arsenal. What do you think?
Definitely confidence is high now. You know, it's 4 wins and 4 clean sheets on the spin in all competitions. The Barcelona game was a statement win. I agree with what Jody was saying earlier, that was our best performance since the PSG game. And a lot of detractors of the Club World Cup were saying, you know, how there was no champions of Spain, there was no champions of England in it and whatnot. We've beaten Liverpool twice in the last 6 months, just beaten the Spanish champions quite comfortably. Should have been 5-4 or 5-0. Really, I think the 3-0 flattered them. The Arsenal game, don't get me wrong, is a real test. We haven't beaten them at Stamford Bridge, I don't think, since 2018. I think we last beat them in the league in 2021 when we won 2-0 at the Emirates with Lukaku on the score sheet. So it's been a long, long time since we've beaten them. So, look, if we play anywhere near as well as we did last night, then there's no reason why we can't get the result. There really isn't. And confidence has got to be high. The big games are where Chelsea turn up and seem to do the business. So, yeah, you've got to feel confident heading into this one. And, you know, if you go 3 points behind, then at this stage of the season, you're putting yourself very much in that title conversation.
Yeah. OK, Charlie, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Cheers, Charlie.